Hi guys, this is Kata and I'm still alive if anyone has wondered about that. But yeah, I have just been a lazy ass and I don't really have an excuse for not filming and, just not reading basically, because I haven't really been reading either. But yeah, in this video I just want to show you guys what I have actually read in the last 2 months. So this is a June and July wrap up kind of thing. Yeah. So the first book I read in June was The Indigo Spell by Rochelle Mead, which is the third book in the Bloodline series, which is a spin-off series to the Vampire Academy series, which is one of my favorite series ever, like I mentioned like a zillion times. But yeah, this was a reread because I wanted to read the fourth book, but yeah, this is a 5-star read for sure because I love this series and I love Adrian so much. So then I went ahead and read the fourth book in the series, which was The Fiery Heart, and I love this. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars because it was just so good. Rochelle Mead is a fantastic writer in my opinion, even though in this book I kind of felt like that I can't really believe that I'm going to be saying this, but I felt like that the romantic love scenes were a little bit too much, and that's a lot coming from me because I'm living for those scenes in the previous 3 books. But I kind of feel it went a little overboard in this one, but nonetheless I loved it so much and I recommend this series to you, all of you. After that I wanted to read something a little bit more contemporary and I picked up Forbidden by Tabitha Suzuma. And I was so afraid of this book because I knew what the subject matter was and I knew that it was going to be awful in a way and emotional, and it was even more. And I can't even really talk about this book because I still have these feelings for it that what I felt when I read it, and it grips me, and yeah, it will just tear you apart if you read it. But I really do recommend this. It's very emotional, it's very dark, it's very deep, and yeah, it's I don't know how to explain, but I kind of felt the same with The Storyteller by Antonia Michalis. These 2 books are so good that I never ever want to read them again basically. And after that I needed something light and funny to just get me out of that dark place, and so I picked up Fanged and Fabulous by Michelle Rowan, which is the second book in the Immortality Bites series. And I thought that I haven't read this one in the series, but I actually did because a lot of it I did remember. So this was a reread for me, but this is just such a hilarious and light-hearted and funny vampire series that I do recommend to all of you. You know, it's not the best written books and it's kind of over the top when it comes to the funny bits in this, but I really do love it and I want to finish this whole series. So I'm just going to pick up the 3rd book soon, but I gave this one either 4 or 4.5 stars and I can't talk anymore. And after that I reread 2 books in a trilogy, the first 2 books in a trilogy, which were The Selection by Kira Cass and also The Elite by Kira Cass. The first book is a 5-star read for me, the second book is a 4-star read because America is an annoying in this one. But then I picked up the 3rd book, which is called The One, and I had such high expectations for this because, you know, it's the ending of a trilogy and I wanted everything to happen my way, and they kinda did, but they kinda didn't, and I expected America to be a lot less annoying in this one, and she still had her moments. Yeah, but all in all it turned out in a good way, so I'm happy with this book. I wasn't really blown away by it, so I gave it, I can't remember again, I think 4.5 stars, but I just love this series, especially the first book, and the covers are so gorgeous, like everyone is saying so. The last book I read in June was Can You Keep a Secret by Sophie Kinsella, and again I had very high expectations for this book, and I don't know, I was kind of a bit disappointed with it because it was good but it wasn't fantastic, and I don't know, I can't even really remember all the things about this book, even though I only read it like 1.5 months ago, but yeah, I gave it 4 stars because it was really good and enjoyable, and it was, quick and easy to read, and it was funny. But yeah, it's a chick lit book, and it didn't really leave an impression on me, but I can see why people really love this book. So as you can see, June wasn't really a bad reading month for me because I read 8 books in total, but then came July and the reading stopped. I got into such a huge reading slump. I don't even know what happened, but I will talk about those books that I couldn't really finish in the month of July or August. But I will first talk about the books that I did finish in July, and the first one was Secret by Bridget Camera, and I don't have it in a physical form, but I read it as an ebook, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars because it was so amazing. I feel like this series is so underrated. At least I don't know how many people actually read it, but the series is so good. I only had a problem with the third book, so I would just skip that book altogether, but all the other books were fantastic. And basically this is a paranormal series about 4 brothers and 1 other guy, and each guy has his own book, and each of the boys are linked to an element like earth, fire, air, water, stuff like that. And yeah, they are just so action packed, and the characters are to die for, and you just get so attached to them that you have to finish the book and you cannot wait for the next book, which is how I feel because I need to read the 5th book. And yeah, I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. And the second and last book I read in July was Amy and Matthew by Cammy McGovern, I think. I wanted to love this book so much, so much. I absolutely thought that it's going to be one of my favorites ever, but no, I just did not really connect with the characters, especially the female main character Amy. I just didn't really understand where she came from and how she was thinking at times, and I connected to Matthew a lot better. And yeah, I don't know, and it's so bad because a lot of people love this, but for me it was just not powerful enough, and a lot of times it just frustrated me. And yeah, I still gave it 4.5 stars, so that's not really bad, but I wanted to love this so much more. And as I mentioned, I got into a really bad reading slump in the month of July, and I started to read like 5 books, but I just couldn't, finish them, just keep reading them. I stopped after like 100 pages or so, and I'm just going to quickly show these books to you. So hopefully I will finish them in this near future. But anyways, one of the books was Sweet Venom by Thrilling Childs, and this is a paranormal book about 3 girls who are the descendants of Medusa, I think. And I felt like it was a little bit I feel like I'm a bit too old for this. It felt a little bit childish, but not in a very bad way. I just felt old for this book, but I still want to finish it because the story is interesting enough, and yeah, I just need to power through it and just stay a little bit younger. The next book was such a disappointment because I think I read it when it was a fan fiction, and I think I loved it, but then I picked it up and I just could not get into the writing style, and I'm talking about Gabriels Inferno by Sylvain Reynard. And yeah, I feel like that the writing wants to be more than the story demands of it. I felt like all the big words were just thrown into the sentences, and an easy sentence was way more complicated than it should have been, and it just pissed me off. And the story itself is interesting, and I love the story itself, but if I cannot tolerate the writing or just cannot love it, then I don't know how I'm going to finish this book. And I even have the second book, so I don't know. I just feel like that the writing is a little bit too much, and it tries too hard. And then I also tried to read A Reason to Breathe by Rebecca Donovan, and I thought that I will absolutely love this book too, but I don't know, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. I just didn't really feel like reading this when I picked it up, and it's crazy because I picked it up because I felt like reading it. My mind is crazy and my moods are crazy, but yeah, I will definitely try to continue with this book because so far I really loved it, but I just need to be in the right mood and mindset to read this. And I still can't talk at all. Another book I tried to read in July, or I think it was June, was The City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare, and this would have been a reread for me because I wanted to read the sixth and final book in the series, and probably I'm the only person who hasn't read it, and I heard no spoilers of it, thank God, but I'm not sure if I'm going to actually reread this because it's huge and I just don't really feel like reading this word. I don't know, I don't know, maybe I'm a little over this series, but I still really want to read the sixth book. I have my issues with this series and Cassandra Clare and stuff like that, but yeah, I think I will just read a recap of this book and then read the sixth book. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that, but I try to reread this in June or July. And another book I started, but I only got 20 or 30 pages in, was Birthmark by Kara O'Brien, and again, not a bad book at all. It's a dystopian novel series, I guess. I just didn't really feel like reading it after 20 or 30 pages, and I hate myself for it because in the past I never ever abandoned the book. I always powered through and read it, even if I didn't like it, but now I started 5 books and haven't even get into 50 pages, or yeah, so I will definitely try to read this book in the future too. So those were all the books I read in June and July. And yeah, I'm so far behind on my reading challenge on Goodreads, and I was so good at the end of June. I was like 5 books ahead and I'm 6 books behind. Not good. I'm not happy, but I will try to do something about that, and I will try to film more and just send me your energy, because I don't know how you guys do this. Those of you who upload like 3 videos a week, I don't know how you find the energy and the time, but all the power to you because you are amazing and I want to be like you, so I'm so jealous, but I will try harder. And yeah, if you have anything to tell me or whatever, just leave a comment down below or like this video, or you know what to do, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.